How's it going, Chrono Clashers? This is one of the last decks, I think, depends on when they go up, of the Evangelion set. It's a green-purple control style deck. It's pretty cool, pretty fun. Has a lot of, controlling type things, but it definitely has a weakness, as I find most control style decks do, of if you don't draw into any sentinels, then you're gonna have a bad time. So starting off, we've got a lot of 3 costs. We've got Asuka, who lets you replay your abilities. This mainly comes into effect when you get your EXs for the destroy effects. We've got Rei Ayanami, who's gonna help us get some leadership and play some of our big battlers for cheaper. We've got Ryoji Kaji, who lets us get stuff back from the discard, hopefully replay some effects and keep a lockdown on the game. And finally, Mari Makinami, who really just is a 3 cost and a one-time pilot that gives +2 strength. The quest ability, not too useful, but sometimes if you're really hurting for an EX card, you can use that. Let's move on to the 4s. In the 4 costs, we've got 2 cards to help you get your EX cards, which is a lot of the oomph in this deck is. Second Angel Lilith and 9th Angel Eva. The 9th Angel has been like hit or miss, because giving your opponents 2 Guardians is like pretty not good, but getting an EX when you play it is fantastic, and it's basically the only card in Evangelion that does that. Second Angel Lilith gets it when it dies, so it's nice, but you have to like figure out a way to kill it, and sometimes just crashing that into your opponent doesn't quite do the job. Then we've got Don't Run Away, one of the most fantastic cards in the set. You can return big time spends back to your opponent's hand. They also did discard a card, so it kind of hurts the hand size as well. And then of course it also bounces on the Guardian stack, which makes it amazing. Gendo Ikari going to help us build up a little bit more time and also have more sentinels. Like I said, being able to sit behind a sentinel and destroy things is a huge part of the strategy in this deck. So we're moving up the chain. There's 1 5 cost and the 2 of in the deck, and then there's a lot of 6s, so I'm trying to spread it out a little bit. So the 5th Angel is fantastic, discarding a lot of cards. That works very well, especially in the Eva set where there's not a lot of ways to draw cards. There was some Naruto matches and stuff where there's a lot of ways to get cards back into your hand with Naruto, so the discard doesn't seem to matter as much. Especially with Chrono Clash being typically only 1 card per turn. So yeah, but it's still pretty good. You get an EX card out of it as well. And then even Evangelion Prototype 00, on the other hand, lets you grab your Sentinels back. And like I said, having Sentinels is great in this deck. The reason why it's only at 2 is because you don't always have a Sentinel in your discard, and it's pretty slow. So it doesn't work as a last minute, like, oh crap, I really need a Sentinel. Boom, there it is. It never really works like that. It's usually like a little bit too slow where you're like, oh gosh, I really wish I had a Sentinel, but instead I have a card that gets a Sentinel. And the other 6 costs, there's a few different ones. So there's some Destruction here in Second Impact, which is a great job just clearing fields away. If your opponent plays a lot of units, especially those small ones, you can take care of those. Speaking of killing small units, the Production Model 02 will do that fairly well as well. This is going to dissuade your opponent from playing cheap units, so they're going to play big ones, which hopefully you can deal with using your EX cards or Don't Run Aways. Then we've got Evangelion Mark 02, a nice taunt, and Shinji Ikari, another one of our Sentinels. So Shinji Ikari is great because you can turn any of your Evas into a bigger, beefier Sentinel with +4. He also has a nice Don't Attack Me Anymore Guardian stat. While Evangelion Mark 06 just is a big statted taunter, which is good because, like I said, you don't have a lot of Sentinels, you really need them, so the ideal combo is set up a Sentinel behind a taunt, so they have to go through both. And finally, the last part of the main decks, Shinji and Asuka, which is an incredibly good removal card. It's the 2-for-1. You get to kill 2 6 costs or less, which can really just really just swing the game in your favor or just help you get back into it. Because, like I said, you dissuade them from playing cheap guys, and hopefully they play big guys that cost 6, and then you get to punish them for that. Then we've got a 6 Angel, just nice 7/7, gives you 3 back when it dies, and has taunt to protect your sentinels like 10th Angel, which is big and beefy. Now, 10th Angel is pretty awesome, but the more I play with it, the less impressed I am with it, and it's all because of this 3rd symbol right here. Cannot attack battlers. It's kind of a big problem, and the reason why that's a big problem is because if your opponent has a sentinel, you cannot attack the sentinel with your 10th Angel, which means you can't tap it, which means you don't get the sentinel effect, and that makes it pretty useless. You can't use it to attack your opponent's annoying battlers, and then also get sentinel to hide behind, which you could do with something like Boruto or Godzilla 4th form, I think, from the Godzilla set. So that's a pretty big downside, is this no battlers. I didn't think it would be that bad, but after playing with it, it's very frustrating. Very frustrating. So the EX cards. First we have a 4 cost. This is in here because sometimes you just need a cheap EX to get just finish off the game, you know, like just pow, pow. And there's a good amount of 4 costs and higher in this deck. Probably most of the deck is 4 costs and higher. So you're probably going to get this pretty easy if your opponent gives us too much time. And then we've got our big green ones. Leadership, always fantastic. And the EVA 00 is going to give us another Sentinel option, which will be pretty nice. It also combos well with the Prototype 00 to fetch it back from the discard and then EX over it. And then we've got the Destruction Suite from purple that I'm sure you all are used to seeing now. EVA 01 AT Field and Model 02 Gamma give you a destruction on play, and your 3rd impact will let you destroy the whole field. So this is a pretty fun deck for just sitting behind big sentinels and keeping your opponent's cards destroyed. I think it does need a bit more tuning, a little bit of work, but it's still pretty fun to play as is. So give it a spin, let me know how it goes. Come back here, tell me about it in those comments, and let me know your favorite color combination for Evangelion so far. I'd love to hear about it. And as always, keep on learning, keep on having some fun here with me at Chrono Clash Central. And I'll see you in another video. Bye.